Getting ready for battle indeed. Alright, so we're working on 200,000 damage to aerial targets. This is not the best plane for that. No tier 8 plane would be the best plane for it, right? We'd want to take out a tier 10 heavy fighter typically. But they have Wargaming has this particular plane on sale right now. And so I've already had quite a few people ask me to post a video on it. So let's see if I can actually post a video on this one. First and foremost, like just right out of the gate, I don't think this plane is worth what they're asking for. Maybe if it was on some sort of like nifty 30% discount. And don't get me wrong, it's not a weak plane by any means. But it's not going to be everybody's favorite either. So what is this plane? Well, it is a heavy fighter. It's a big old chunky boy. It doesn't turn for anything. It's one of the least maneuverable heavy fighters, if that tells you anything of just how unmaneuverable it is. In fact, in real life, it was supposed to be a bomber, so I guess Wargaming is kind of, sort of accurate with its maneuverability. Let's get this gone. Wrong choice. Definitely wrong choice. The plane itself has a very good balance of guns. I do like that about it. That being said, the overall damage output is kind of weak. I'm actually going to go down here. They've got a bomber and a ground attacker down there to kill. So let's go ahead and take advantage of that. We have two 30mm sniper cannons, which are your main damage dealers. They've got a pretty darn good range on them and good firing characteristics. You've got two 15mm machine guns and then two 13mm machine guns. They're all right. You know, they do just enough damage to supplement those 30mm cannons. It really is all about your sniping ability in this plane. So if you're not down with the sniping capabilities, you're not gonna like this particular plane. Let's go, let's go, let's go. But it's a unique plane. You've got both jets and props for your engines. Problem with that is if any one of those engines gets knocked out, your engines are considered knocked out. You can see there just how little damage output you've got going on. I was able to... It's really about your ability to do damage from long distance, because as far as your close-up damage is concerned, it's a little lacking. XP58 is obviously going to be much better at close-range brawling. Let's get our snipe on. Come on. Oof. Soviet bombers are the worst because they've actually got reasonable maneuverability. But we were able to get our cannons on target there. I am trying to get some damage dealing done, so I'm just going to be farming bombers and ground attackers in this particular battle. Not really going to be showing you the best strengths of this plane. The strengths of this plane are that it has the ability to get from sector to sector pretty quickly. And yep, there's one of my engines knocked out. If I was smarter about it, I would have manual engine restart. Let's get that guy knocked out. But I tend to go all or nothing with my engines. I've actually got extra speed on my consumable. Oh, one thing I haven't talked about is this little number. So we've got a rear gunner. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it can be effective in those kind of situations, keeping things like a Yak 15 off your butt. Let's see what we can do versus this 329. Now this isn't probably would want to be, not even probably, we would want to be pushing the command center in this kind of situation typically. But I am trying to do the air damage mission. And as such, we are going for the multi-rolls, excuse me, the ground attackers and bombers that I typically wouldn't go for. Let's go ahead and get our boost up here. Actually, I need to fix something really quick. There we go. My mouse settings were a little bit off there. I was able to fix that. Got our boost on. Get some engine cooling going on. Yeah, the Tu-10 is still the closest thing. You can see I'm at 3,500 feet, so what is that going to be? About 1,000 meters. A little bit more than 1,000 meters. And I've got the ability to hit the Tu-10. And that really is the key to this plane, is you need to be taking advantage of your long distance damage output. Because if you're not, your close-up damage output is just not strong enough to dictate this kind of stuff. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Yay, let's go for a bomber that doesn't have better maneuverability than I've got. And right now I'm not just holding down the trigger, I'm actually pulling off, clicking on, clicking off, clicking on, clicking off. I don't really care if they get the mining facility now, so let's go ahead and get some bombers while we can. I'm actually gonna get this guy just knocked out, just so we've got less airplanes shooting back at us. Let's go for this guy because he's a little bit further away. Again, it really is about the having the furthest distance possible when trying to knock out these planes. Not that I particularly care that we didn't get the plane knocked out. Remember, the mission right now is not about kills. The mission is about damage output. I'm always down for getting a cheeky kill, though. AKA this guy. Oh, that last hit. The last one hit. A pretty low battle as far as personal points is concerned. Let's hop into another one. Alright, so we've got our Bv P.203. I was fortunate enough to win this particular plane when it first came out, however many years ago. And I certainly don't regret that. It's definitely a plane that was worth the grind. I'm going to answer a quick question that a lot of people have been asking me. Is this plane worth the $50 or so that they're asking for right now? I'd say probably not. I mean, it's your $50, you do your thing. But that's just my quick answer to it. Let's talk about the plane in general. Keep in mind, I am right now in a mission to get as much air damage, aircraft damage done as possible. So I might not be playing this to its fullest abilities, although this map has nothing but garrisons. So let's just go capture garrisons, right? What is this plane? Well, you can see that the 30mm cannons are long-range derp cannons. Not as derpy as some of those Soviet cannons that are out there as far as like hitting ability is concerned. Definitely German in nature. Let's not crash into the ground. Although that is a feature of this plane, it has the turning radius of the Titanic. You can see just how freaking huge these wings are. And its ability to have any kind of maneuverability is pretty well impeded by that. Keep in mind, this is actually supposed to be a bomber, and Wargaming is pretty good about the setup on this plane. I would think it would be this unmaneuverable for sure in real life. Anyway, you have two 30mm cannons, very long range, shoot out about 1,000 meters, 3,300 feet. You have two 15mm machine guns, which are okay, and then two 13mm machine guns, which are, just there to do little bits of damage. The real strength of this plane, though, is literally in its sniping ability. If you don't like sniping type planes, you are not going to like this plane. You need to have the plane do the damage at long distance first and foremost, and get some cheeky shots in before they even really have the ability to do anything to you. Because otherwise, yep, I'm in so much trouble here. Otherwise, you're going to regret your life choices, like I already am. Why a Spitfire is able to be up this high, I don't know, but who might argue? Oh, XP58. Never mind. Luckily he's kind of short range, but it looks like he's got his speed going on, so we're definitely toast here. Let's see if we can angle down, angle up. Nope, dead. So if you're not doing long range damage, you're going to be less effective, let's say. And so you just need to have that focus when it comes to the damage output. Looks like they're just going to camp the center. So this plane's complete lack of maneuverability. This F6U, I'm not sure knows what's going on. Its complete lack of maneuverability really dictates the engagements that you've got to have going on with it. Let's go ahead and can we get this ground attacker knocked out? Get him and then fly straight up and get that bomber. Normally I would try to get the higher altitude plane first, but this plane's on such low hit points that I just want to knock him out. Oh, he's on literally 1. Wasted my time. We've got to watch that fighter that's inbound. I probably want to go for the fighter first. Never mind. Everybody's taking everything from me. That being said, so I know my initial first couple sentences in this battle were this plane's not worth the money. It's still a very good plane. Anybody that does get it isn't going to be necessarily disappointed by it. Since it's not a readily available plane, you're never going to be able to get it on discount. And I think these planes aren't worth, the $50. They're more. I recommend things like the DO 335 and the XP58, where you can get them at a 30% discount from time to time. And you can get more bang for your buck. This plane does have a rear gunner, but it's kind of weak. This plane does not have any air-to-ground ordnance, so you need to keep that in mind. It is strictly air-to-air combat with this plane, which is, perfect for this kind of mission. There we go. Wow. Gotta zoom out. My sniper cannon was zoomed in too far there. We're a little bit too close. These 30mm cannons get kind of a little wonky when you're too close, but that's why you've got all the machine guns, so yay to that. Let's try to get some altitude here. I'm actually going to go for the bomber generally, and then flip back up and over and get the F2G and those multi-rolls. And I'm not holding down the cannon. I'm actually letting off for just a half a second, so that way the cannons don't overheat super quickly. Now when I'm that close, I'll hold it down because the machine guns won't overheat. And I can, kind of disregard that. Ooh, what is this guy? 262, I'm assuming? Yes. Let's see if we can't get that. I'll go after the 262. Because I should be able to snipe him if I can hit my shots. Which I can. Cool, so, and then, again, that's a prime example of what this plane needs to do. 262 could be an incredible freaking pain in the butt. Just absolute killer versus my plane. Because it kind of sort of does everything this plane does. But you've also got air-to-air rockets and things of that nature, right? And so we are still losing this battle. So I really want to go for the ground attackers just to get my mission done a little quicker. But I also want to win. So we need to get a garrison. Just take a shot and keep on moving. Hope that something hit. There we go. You can't get too far away from me because my cannons. Let's get back across the center here. Let's send everybody else over there. I'm under the impression we should get that northern garrison, which we just did. Let's see, can I get this Bv P.203? Air-to-air rockets, doesn't matter how many hit points I've got. Air-to-air rockets will absolutely destroy me. That being said, Again, let's use our range to knock this guy out, but he's... See, now we're in his battle. Because close range is where the XP58 is going to excel. He's trying to get away. He can't get away from my guns, so that's the good thing there. He might have better speed in that type of situation, although we're basically... I'm pretty sure I've got better speed in general. But in that situation I was turned, so I'd lost a lot of my speed. And he was diving down. But my guns, they go faster than his planes, so... See if I can. I'm going to overheat the cannons here. Trying to just tap. Cool off. There we go. Hey, this 212's still alive. How you doing, sir? Welcome to the Church of 30 millimeters. Victory is in sight. We're hitting our stride now. There we go. What do we got going on here? I think we're just gonna go straight across. Try to get some altitude, lay off the boost so I can regenerate it a little bit more here. Really, it's just the 262 that's any kind of threat, obviously. So I might even be able to just go for the ground attackers at this point. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Try to get some hit points. Try to go for my missions now that we've pretty well secured the win. Oh, never mind. This is the last guy anyway. So then, yeah, we've definitely secured the win. Didn't get the kill, but that's okay. Got some damage done. And 11,000 that time. Not too shabby. Was able to balance out the getting the win and hopefully getting a decent amount of damage. We'll see when we head back. Let's check it out. So that first battle, we were able to get 11,000 damaged aerial targets just by focusing on the bombers and ground attackers. Again, not the quintessential Bv P.203 gameplay, but we're being greedy monkey and we need to get our mission done as well. Only 9 kills, not a whole lot of... well, we did get 3 chevrons. The impact was we held on to the mining facility long enough to allow our IL-40 to capture what the IL-40 needed to capture, and so we were able to counter their attacking abilities. In that kind of map, the mining facility is pretty darn important. I wouldn't recommend just sitting there camping and holding on to it, but it can be a viable tactic if you've got somebody else doing the actual important work. So thank you to Johnny B there. Only 6,000 air damage that time, but we were able to secure the kill. Taking more advantage of the lower health targets rather than seriously focusing down the high health pool targets. And yeah, this mission is going to take a little while if I keep playing this particular plane. That being said, again, the Bv P.203 is more of a finesse plane. It really is. You want to make sure that you're focused on that long damage. You're not necessarily turning with planes in any way, shape, or form. I mean, look at the maneuverability, 31. There really are bombers that have better maneuverability than this. 15 second average turn time. And that being said, it's not a bad plane at all. It can be incredibly effective. You just need to know what you're doing with the plane. You need to take advantage of the long range. There's huge perks to a tier 8 premium, right? Obviously, I was able to make more than 250,000 credits in that particular battle. I've got premium time thanks to some crates that I opened, and that certainly helps as well. But premium aircraft, especially tier 8, are going to earn that extra credits. Right now, I've got my 262 HG3 pilot and my Bv P.215 rear gunner on here, so I'm building those guys up as well. So again, there's certainly perks of this plane. $50 is just quite a bit to be asking for it, even with crates and gold and things of that nature being tacked on for some of the bundles that they might be having. To be honest, I haven't even looked at the bundles. I just know typically Wargaming is going to be asking $50 for this plane stock, and then more for crates and shenanigans. It's up to you. I'm not going to necessarily encourage or discourage anybody from spending their money on their pixels. But at the end of the day, as good as the Bv P.203 can be, It also it's got a lot of nuances to it that feed into that strength. And if you're not used to this kind of gun setup, if you are not used to planes like this that have no maneuverability, you could definitely be frustrated with this plane, and I'd hate for somebody to spend $50 or more on a plane that is ineffective just because of playstyle. So yeah, again, I love the plane. I'm not going to go out of my way to say you should go get it. I hope this helps. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. This wasn't like over-the-top ace type gameplay that I've posted previously with this plane. This is literally just the first 2 games of my day play, and I need to continue on and get some more air damage done. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.